Hey everybody, welcome to Cherry Lane. My name is Mary, and in today's video it's going to be a tutorial, and we are going to learn how to make these gingerbread ornaments. And you may be thinking, why is there nothing on them? Well, I just wanted to create the base for you so that you can decorate them however you want. I'm really hoping we can put together some sort of crochet along with them. I can't think of any specific hashtag, but if you want to just use the hashtag Cherry Lane or something, or at least just tag me in your posts and videos so I can see them, or if someone along the way decides on a hashtag, that would be super fun. I'm making some of these for a friend of mine, and her whole family's going to decorate them over the holidays, and I'll be excited to share those pictures with you. And I did do a version last year that was bigger, not last year, in 2018, that was bigger than this. These are about 6.5 inches. The other ones were about 9.5, 10 inches. And they were stuffed. And I had a snowman as well, and nothing really came of that. So that pattern has since been removed, but I will be re-releasing the pattern. However, I just thought these are so quick to make and so much easier to do. They're also very easy to stiffen like this. You can call it blocking if you want as well. I just thought this was a lot easier to make for gifts or to decorate with friends and such like that. So there will not be a PDF pattern to go along with it. It's very easy to write down the pattern for yourself, but you will have this tutorial to go off of. And again, like I said, if you make these and however you decorate them, please share with me and share with everybody else. I'd really love there to be a lot of gingerbread out there. Just some suggestions for you. Yarn, obviously. A hot glue gun is a crafter's best friend. You can do puff paint, embroidery. You can decorate them with beads. Felt would be another great idea. Some people who have Cricut machines, you can do that. I mean, the list goes on. Fabric, ribbon, whatever you can think of, whatever you have around. I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's get to the tutorial. Okay, so let's hop right into it. You're going to need a 3.5mm crochet hook if you want to make the same size as me. If your gauge is a little different or you prefer a different hook size with worsted weight yarn, feel free to go ahead and do that. Your size might be a little bit different than mine, especially depending on your natural gauge. That being said, we are going to be using worsted weight yarn. I'm going to assume you know the basics of crochet, so I'm not going to go super in depth with that. I am using Big Twist Value in the color Camel if you want to use the same yarn I am. If not, you can just, again, use any worsted weight yarn. We're going to start with a magic loop and a chain 1, and we're going to do 6 single crochet. We're going to close up this loop. Now, the rounds on here are going to be continuous, so we're not going to slip stitch to join. We're not going to turn our work. We're just going to work right into that first single crochet. If you need a stitch marker to know where your first stitch is, please do that. I don't, however, so I'm not going to. We're going to do 2 single crochet in each of these 6 stitches. So that means we're going to go all the way around until we have a total of 12 stitches. And again, if you need a stitch marker, please feel free to do that. And I'll meet you when we get to the end. Okay, so we have our 12 stitches here. I'm going to do an increase round, and again it's going to be continuous. So for this round you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochet in the next, and that will be your repeat all the way around until you have a total of 18 stitches. And we started with 6 stitches, so this is a multiple of 6, so basically you'll do this 6 times. Alright, so we're ready to do our 4th round, which is 1 more increase round. So for this one, we are going to do 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then we will do our increase. And 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then an increase. And again, we'll do that all the way around until you have 24 stitches. Okay, once you've completed your 4th round, we are now going to work in rows. So our first single crochet right there, we are going to slip stitch into that and chain 1. We are not going to turn our work yet. We are going to single crochet in that stitch that we just slipped into, and we are going to do 4 total single crochet across. This is going to be our neck. You're going to chain 1, turn, and then do 4 single crochet across. And we are working in rows, as I said, so you'll chain 1 and turn at the end of each row. So now we're going to do an increase again, because we're going to be making the shoulder area here. So at the beginning of this row, we are going to add 2 stitches, and at the end of this row, we are going to add 2 stitches. For a total of 6. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to do that same thing again. So we'll do an increase at the end, single crochet across, and an increase at this end for a total of 8 single crochet, chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to do 6 rows of single crochet. There's 8 stitches here. That's going to make our torso area. I'm going to do one of the rows with you. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll do 5 more rows. Okay, now that we have this torso section done, we're going to start the legs. And the first leg, we're just going to do 3 single crochet across. So 1, 2, 3. We'll chain 1 and turn. We'll do another row of single crochet, chain 1 and turn, and we'll do 5 more rows of single crochet for the leg. Okay, so now we have the leg here. We're going to have to make a foot. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet in this 3rd stitch here, which if for some reason your count is off or you do yours differently than mine or whatever, you want the toes pointing out. So if for some reason you've goofed up and you're not on the same side as me, you just want to do your increases on the toe on the outside. But assuming you're on the same side as me, we're now going to do 3 single crochet in this last stitch, chain 1, turn. We're going to do an increase in this first stitch, so just 2 stitches, and single crochet across. So we should have a total of 6 now. And then we are going to leave ourselves a bit of a tail, cut the yarn, and now we have the head, the neck, the shoulders, the torso, the leg, and the foot. Now we need to make another leg. So to do that, my round or row, I should say, where I started the leg, the right side is facing me. I'm going to skip 2 stitches in the center here, so that should leave me with 3 at the end. So the third from the edge of the body, I'm going to slip stitch into that, chain 1, and I'm going to single crochet into that stitch, and I'm going to do 1 single crochet in the last 2. I crocheted over this tail here, so I'll cut that off soon. We're going to chain 1, turn, and then we're going to do 6 rows of single crochet for the leg. Okay, so now we're going to have to add a foot again here. So again, we want the toe to be on the outside. So we're going to do 3 single crochet in this stitch here, 1 single crochet into those last 2, chain 1 and turn, and then we are going to single crochet across until we get to that last stitch. We'll do 2 single crochet in there. That'll be our foot. We will cut our yarn again. And now all we have left is 2 arms and to do the border around the body. Now you can do this whenever you want, but I don't like all these tails sticking out. It drives me crazy, so I like to cut them off as soon as I can. These I shorten because I'm just going to crochet over them anyways. And this one I did crochet over it as well, but I'm not super worried about also tacking that down or sewing that in, because we are going to add an adhesive to it later when we stiffen it, so I don't think it's all that necessary. If this were a blanket or something, then maybe that would be the case, but not really for an ornament. So to do the arms, we have this section here where it kind of goes at an angle a little bit, and that's where we want to place the arm. Now you don't have to count exactly where this is, I just kind of eyeball it. You don't want to work into the neck, so here's the base of the neck right here, and then you have 1, 2, 3 stitches. Again, if you need to fudge that a little bit, it's really not a big deal. Not something to stress over. So you will insert your hook at the base of the arm and do 1 single crochet. Find a space somewhere near here again where you can do a 2nd single crochet, and a space somewhere along here but not the neck where you can do a 3rd single crochet. If you were a little close to the neck, again, it's not a huge deal, but we are going to do a row of single crochet around this entire thing, and so you just want to leave room for that. Now that we've attached the arm, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and much like the leg, we're going to go ahead and do 6 rows of single crochet. And I'll do a couple with you here. Okay, so we've done the arm, and we just want to make a little hand. All we're going to do for that is we're going to do a decrease, and then we'll just do 1 single crochet in this last stitch. And that is it for the arm and the hand. And again, I'm going to cut this off here. I'm going to cut this off a little bit. Leave enough I can crochet over it a bit because you don't want it to completely come undone. And now we need to add the other arm. So again, we're just going to find us 3 stitches along this edge here, but try not to get into the neck. I'm going to stick my hook in here, pull up a loop, chain 1, single crochet into that stitch, single crochet next to that, and do a 3rd single crochet. We've now started the arm, and we're going to do 6 rows again to complete the arm, and I will see you when we get those 6 rows done. Okay, the arm is done. We're going to do the hand again by doing a decrease and a single crochet. We're going to cut our yarn, trim this just a little bit, trim this off because we've crocheted over that. Okay, so now we've got our gingerbread man, ginger person, and we are going to do a round of single crochet all the way around it. I think this really just makes the perfect shape for it and gives it that real finishing touch. It also allows us to add this loop here for hanging. So you can join your yarn wherever you like. I will show you where I like to join mine. Don't know why, it's just a force of habit. I like to join it on this side here. Any one of these stitches, you don't have to count this. This does not have to be exact. I'm just going to show you where I do increases. So we're going to just single crochet around wherever you think there is a stitch. We did do rows, so there are, generally speaking, places you can actually add a single crochet if you can see that. But again, I personally find it more stressful to try to count and make it perfect. The only thing that you don't want to do is just add too many stitches. So you know what I mean? You don't want to add like 2 in one spot and just keep adding too many. But if you're familiar with crochet, this should be fairly easy. However, I'm just going to point some stitches out for you. So I would single crochet in here, 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 here. You can see the front and back of the rows, so you can generally see where the stitches would belong. Okay, so we are just going to continue along here. I am crocheting over my tail, at least a few stitches. You don't have to do it the entire way. I'm going to crochet with you until we get to this first foot, because that's where I'm going to do an increase. So this is the first stitch of the foot, or the toe I should say. The toe specifically, we're going to do 3 single crochet into that stitch. And then again, we're just going to do 1 single crochet across. It doesn't matter which way you crochet over this tail, you just want to crochet over it either down here or over here. We've gotten to the last stitch here, and we're going to do 2 single crochet into that stitch. And then we are going to do 1 single crochet all the way until we get to the next foot. We're not going to do any increasing in this region here or any of that. The feet and the hands are the only places that we're going to be doing any increases. gotten to the other foot here. This is the heel, this is the toe. I've done 2 single crochet in there. We're going to single crochet across. These tails want to bend backwards instead of forwards, so again, you can crochet over them whatever direction they fall. It doesn't have to be exact. This last stitch of the toe, we're going to do 3 single crochet, and then we are going to work our way up to the arm, or one of the arms, I should say. So when we get to the hand, we've worked up the side of the arm. When we get to the hand, there's only 2 stitches, so again, we want to crochet over our tail. That's important. We're going to do 2 single crochet in that first stitch and 2 single crochet in that next stitch of the hand. That just helps round it out. And then we're just going to do our single crochet across until we get to the base of the neck, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the head and all that to make the loop. So we're going to crochet all the way along here until we get to this stitch. So not this side of this stitch, but this actual stitch here. And we're going to do 10 single crochet up the side of the head. That should basically get you to the top center of the head. It's okay if it's a little bit off, it's not that big of a deal. And then you're going to chain 12, and you're going to slip stitch into this last single crochet, but you're going to go into the top loop and the side loop, and then do your your slip stitch. And then we're going to do 10 single crochet down the side of the head. And the math should work on that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exact, but the neck was 4 stitches and the head itself was 24 stitches. So that technically only leaves you 10 stitches for the head. And that is why that gets you to the center there. So we're again just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around. We've already done both of the legs and one of the arms, so we just have this arm here, and we're close enough to it. I'm just going to do this with you here. So this stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet. This one next to it, we're going to do 2 single crochet, and then you're just going to keep going until you get to your first stitch there. Alright, so once we get to this last stitch here, we're going to work that. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull up a loop. And now we are going to sew in that tail and any other remaining tails that we have not already crocheted over. Okay, I've threaded my needle here. We're going to weave this tail in wherever you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so it's done. You don't have to stiffen them if you don't want to. They stay in a pretty decent shape as is, but it was a request of my friend to stiffen them. It does make them look a little better. So the next part of this video, you can skip if you want, but if you want to stick around, we are going to stiffen them. I'm going to tell you what products that I'm using, and I'll be right with you. Okay, so I have some parchment paper here. You can use any type of parchment paper that you may have. This is on my ironing board. I am going to be using Spray and Bond fabric stiffener. You can get this at Joann's. You don't have to use this one. You can use any fabric stiffener. This was just the easiest one that I could obtain. You'll need an iron. You want your iron at a dry setting, and you do not want it on its highest heat setting. Because I'm using acrylic yarn, I'm not trying to burn the yarn or melt it or flatten it together. I just need the heat from the iron to help dry this formula. Now, there are a lot of other ways to stiffen crochet work, especially if it's just for ornaments and stuff and it's not getting washed. You cannot wash these or the stiffener will not matter. This is just a quick dry formula, so this method to me is a lot faster than some of the other ones. So feel free to try other ones, but this is the fabric stiffener, the quick dry formula. I'm going to shake up the bottle a little bit. I have one layer on my ironing board. I'm going to lay it out in the position that I want it to be. And it says about 10 inches away from it or so. I'm just going to spray this down. It says you want it to be damp but not soaking wet. So I'm just going to do a nice even layer on there. Cover this up with my other piece of parchment paper. I can see through it if I need to make any small adjustments to it. And then with your iron ready to go, we are going to just hold it down a few seconds in each spot. And we're just gonna kind of pat this down and move it around. You don't want to push. You don't want to distort your yarn or the shaping of it. But you do want to just kind of like set it down on there. You know, you can move it around lightly, but I'm not pushing on this. I'm just letting the heat get onto that adhesive. Because our only goal here is to dry that adhesive. Now, when I do this, it's not 100% dry because this is a quick dry formula. I'm just kind of setting it. And then I will peel this off when it's about 90% dry. I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. So again, I'm just going to shake this up pretty good. And just dampen it, nothing too crazy. And then we're going to repeat the process on this side. Okay, I'm going to peel this off again. It may stick to the parchment paper a little bit. I'm going to remove it from that wet part of the parchment paper. And I'm just going to lay it down and let it fully dry on its own. So we have started the drying process. With the iron, I'm going to leave it on the parchment paper, let it fully dry. And then once it fully dries, I will show you again. This is it once it's fully dry. So it's still movable, pliable, but the arms, the legs, and the head just stay in their position. So it's basically just like blocking it just a little bit. This is what it looks like if you don't do it. And if you wiggle it around, the arms and legs just get a little more distorted that way. But those are our gingerbread. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.